President Trump late Tuesday night responded to criticism from former Representative Beto O'Rourke, Democrat of Texas, who has repeatedly assailed the president following a mass shooting in El Paso, Texas. Beto, phony name to indicate Hispanic heritage, O'Rourke, who is embarrassed by my last visit to the great state of Texas, where I trounced him, and is now even more embarrassed by polling at 1% in the Democratic primary. Oh, he's a Democrat primary. I don't know why they do that. It's the Democratic primary. God, I've seen other people type that as well. It's a minor critique, whatever. Should respect the victims and law enforcement. Be quiet, Trump tweeted. All right, and then O'Rourke's comment. Where is it? Oh yeah, this tweet came after he announced he would attend an event. O'Rourke announced that he would go to a different event that while Trump was visiting, which he later recanted. Okay, O'Rourke responded, 22 people in my hometown are dead after an act of terror inspired by your racism. El Paso will not be quiet, and neither will I. Now, there are some people who watch my stuff, and they get the opinion that I am, because I've said before I'm not a Trump fan, but I also don't like the Democrats. And one of the things that has pissed me off about left-leaning people for a while is that there's this over-reliance on the effects of rhetoric. So, unless Trump comes out with a firearm and we find out he was the perpetrator of these shootings, like he himself did it, I'm not going to try to connect him to this crap with these people. And I've seen the statistics of there being, more supremacist attacks since he ran for president. I'm not going to dispute that. And I do think that when you have figures like, Steve Bannon, all these other characters around, you can get those associations, but still there's a difference between condoning it and then also advocating for it, which is something that O'Rourke and Booker and the rest of the, a lot of these Democlowns are saying. Now, as far as which one of them is right, I'd say neither one. I think that O'Rourke is just using this shooting. I think he's genuinely upset over it because it's for his hometown, and it strikes close to it. I mean, it is his home that is was shot up. But you gotta understand, when I look at O'Rourke's record in the House of kind of really not doing anything major on gun control, not leading anything, it strikes me as a person who was not serious about this issue and is really just using the fame that, or the attention he's getting from this happening in his part of the state to try and make himself more well known. Like it's being used for purposes it shouldn't. If he had went over there and said I want gun control because of what happened over here, whatever. But you go over there and you go, oh, Trump sucks, and like whatever. Okay, so going back to the comment with Trump, he's also culpable of the same kind of nonsense, because you've got a guy who, he gives this speech on Monday, and I covered it on a few days ago, where his way of dealing with the mass shooting epidemic is not to have universal background checks, not to put security, things to walk through when you go to these different public venues, stuff that detects these kind of materials. No, it's to give the death penalty automatically to a group of people, the mass murderers, who a lot of times already are dead by the time the shooting is over. And let's not beat around the bush. This is all because he's a stooge of the NRA. 30 million goes a long way in terms of changing someone's position on issues and making them, CNN, for as bad as they are, they actually played a compilation of clips of Trump after multiple mass shootings, including the one in Florida at Stoneman Douglas, and there was another one that happened, I think, in November, October, where every time there's a shooting, he just goes, oh, mental illness, mental illness, mental illness, and then it's literally almost verbatim the same exact words every time, because he doesn't want to go against the gun lobby. I don't know why we can't just admit that. Even if you don't like the idea of gun control, why can't you just say, it's not really a coincidence that people who, are getting millions of dollars from this group that is pro Second Amendment to the 90th degree are gonna just kind of sit on their behinds when we have all these shootings taking place. So this is a L for both of them, and the only way that we can get proper, I guess, comeuppance is if O'Rourke loses the Democratic primary, which he probably will, and if Trump loses re-election, which, depending on who the Democrat is, the jury is still out on that one.